Yesterday, World War II got an update that gave us a lot of cool stuff and of course started Operation Liberty Strike, and so while everything dropped out of nowhere and a little earlier than we normally recognize it, we didn't get to do our normal things to look out for this week in Call of Duty World War II series as of yesterday. So while we've recapped everything today as an earlier video in terms of everything that changed with that update, I still want to take a look at the week ahead with you guys in Call of Duty World War II because there is still a bunch of stuff to look out for that has either just happened today or things that are still coming up here in the very near future. So today we're going to be taking a look at 7 different things in Call of Duty World War II for you guys to look out for this week in particular. So with that said, let's just jump right into it. First things first, let's talk a little bit about some new contracts and orders because we do always get on Tuesday that refresh across the board for everything in terms of a special weapon order, in terms of the weekly updates to the orders in Major Howards. So let's start out there. Let's start with firstly the contracts this time around because the first thing we end up getting is a brand new weapon contract, that being for the blunderbuss. And while this is one that we knew about from the blog post on Friday, it's still one that if you want to check it out, you can do so now finally. And it's also one continuing the tradition with the PTRS seemingly, where it is one of the newer weapons and from the last update, because previously all the weapon contracts we'd end up getting from the Quartermaster were from much farther back weapon bundles such as Winter Siege, the Resistance, Shamrock and Awe, those sort of things that have been out there for quite some time and they were like a last resort if you needed to get them. However, with the PTRS and the blunderbuss, they're just now the second newest out of the weapon sets by only a day. Only the stuff that we ended up yesterday getting, the AVS, the Delisle, as well as the Push Dagger, those are the only things newer, so definitely still worth it if you haven't capitalized on all those things from the Attack of the Undead event. But the blunderbuss is available right now for 20 kills with incendiary shells on shotguns. You end up having a total of 35 minutes to complete this and it costs 5,000 armory credits. So as of recently, it's a lot shorter of a time frame that you have to complete it compared to other ones we've recently seen in the Quartermaster, but only 20 kills, it should be something you can do relatively easily, even in say a standard match of TDM 6v6. You should be able to, unless you end up consistently getting very, very large maps, then you might see some pushback on that challenge, but overall it's something you should be able to do. So if you guys want, the choice is yours to take advantage of that. Personally, I think that I'm gonna pass this one up. Yes, I of course have a variant of the blunderbuss, so I don't necessarily need to, but even if I didn't, I don't know if I'd go for it because again, it's a fun weapon to use, but in terms of practicality, I wouldn't say it's really up there because you only get one shot every 4 to 5 seconds, but again, the choice is yours, totally up to you. The other thing we actually end up seeing is that we end up seeing a brand new Zombies contract, which also is available in Zombies for those of you guys that are wondering about the Zombies end of this. It's not just multiplayer, but we do have a Zombies contract in multiplayer, which is one of 4 that is available at the moment. It's one of those things where if you complete it, it'll unlock the second one for you, and then the third, and then the fourth, so you can complete the entire set. But this is something that will give you a special Zombies uniform in multiplayer upon completion. So you end up having the first challenge right now available is to complete the Nazi Zombies prologue. Then after that one, the second one is to get 500 kills in Zombies. After that, you're tasked with opening 20 doors in Zombies, and the final challenge is to defeat the Panzer Morden in the Final Reich. So again, each of these will give you one specific Zombies outfit, and you'll earn them in the order of Mountaineer, Hunter, Survivalist, and Slayer. Now, these are actually pretty awesome. Again, we showcased them earlier in today's video about what they look like, and you'll see them on screen right now as well. But these are limited edition and challenge-specific uniforms that are available for every single division. You don't have to worry about earning them multiple times for each division over again. It's pretty much just like the COD Monty uniform you end up getting, where it's applicable to any division, whether that be airborne, infantry, the brand new cavalry, all that kind of stuff. You'll be able to have it as long as you end up doing this. So again, these are in succession. You end up doing one, then the second, then the third, then the fourth, then you'll end up unlocking them for all your divisions. So it's definitely something. These look really awesome. I'm gonna go for them for sure. I would definitely recommend doing that as well. And honestly, if you guys aren't really into zombies, World War II Zombies is a lot of fun, though it doesn't get nearly as much credit as maybe some of the other games in the franchise, but it's a ton of fun. I think you guys will enjoy it, and of course, you get an awesome reward for doing so. But then, let's talk a little bit about the new bribes, jumping over to Major Howards and the Operations Officer. We end up seeing that whenever you can take a look at your daily and your weekly orders, we have 2 that refreshed out, and it might be a little bit different for me because I activated these yesterday, but I'm I'm assuming they're still like this today because they normally swap out regardless, but we end up having new bribes available. One is the Liberty Strike bribe for completing 30 matches, as well as the Freedom Fighter uniform bribe, which is available for completing 25 matches of TDM. So with these, you end up getting, of course, the bribe allotting you one unclaimed item from the Liberty Strike collection, and the Freedom Fighter bribe, which has yet to be fully detailed on any official level to my knowledge, but my guess is that it's going to give you a uniform bribe from one of the new uniforms in particular out of this event. So one that you don't have from the Liberty Strike uniforms, you'll end up getting with that, but both are available right now, of course, and they have not potentially refreshed, and they may be stable throughout the next week or so, and of course, maybe even in some capacity throughout the entirety of the event. So I'm definitely looking forward to grinding those out, and of course, if more do come in the coming days to weeks, definitely going to try and get as many as possible. But then the next thing that I want to discuss is that of an update, but not on consoles, because this is only specific for PC. But if you're wondering why, it's because PC actually didn't get the newest update until today. So apparently went live today. In full disclosure, I don't have the PC version of Call of Duty World War II to check entirely for myself, but that is something that I've seen numerous posts about this over on Reddit saying that it did go live. So it should be live for the PC players right now, and this will of course give you what PlayStation 4 and Xbox One users had last week, that being the Cavalry Division, along with it the ZK, the Specialist Basic Training, and also the other basic trainings as well, such as Wanderlust as well as Escalation. So of course all the other fine tunings also throughout that update are live now on PC as well. That's something that you should have at your disposal at the current point in time. So really happy that everything is now pushing out and everybody's on a level playing field across all platforms, but that was something I wanted to let you guys know about because that was something that did happen today as well, and this week is pretty big across the three main platforms. The next thing I want to talk about is that of the progress for the Community Challenge. We're of course going to be keeping that going throughout the first week here of the Liberty Strike event. It was announced yesterday that a brand new Community Challenge would give us 5 different items, that being a calling card, a weapon charm, the 1911 American 2 variant, then a special helmet, and finally the Independent 2 variant for the M1. So right now, we might not actually be on pace. We might need to pick up the pace a little bit, but there is no real way to track this at the moment, or maybe by the time you watch this, there is. But as it stands right now, recording this, my news tab is still only donning the welcome back soldier message, nothing to do with the brand new Community Challenge and showing the progress we may have on that. So expect that to come also in the next day or two with this, but the goal is currently 260 million wins in multiplayer, and while the one theory a lot of people thought was that multiplayer has 6 players per match in, say, a standard any lobby of that, TDM, domination, search, whatever it may be, it's not counting 6 wins per lobby, it's just essentially matches played. So 260 million of those, and with 3 weeks to go, I think that we can do it, but as with the Rosie 2 variant on the grease gun a while back, might take some time to do when we might need to put some hard elbow grease into it, but we can get grinding, and I'm definitely going to be doing my part. Next up is the Midweek Mobilization as well as the Weekend Warfare playlist. Going on right now, obviously we have Midweek Mobilization, that is triple feed XP on every playlist in Call of Duty World War II. That's something we haven't seen in ages. We've had triple feed XP here and there and quite a bit of times in a row now, yes, but that was only in featured modes. This is across anything you want to play in World War II, whether it be the United Front Mosh Pit, the Wanderlust mode, standard TDM, hardcore search, infected, and gun game, you name it, it has double XP, double weapon XP, and double division XP as well. So take advantage of that while you can. It's only going to be live until the 5th at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, so today, tomorrow, and then the bright and early portions of the morning on Thursday. So take advantage of that while you can. I know that I'm definitely going to be doing my best here for it, but then moving on to the Weekend Warfare, that's starting on Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, and that's going to be double division XP in all modes. So the only difference from now until then is that of course we don't get the weapon and soldier XP over the weekend, but it still is a fantastic time to rank up your divisions, especially things like cavalry still, if you haven't done that already. So remember, if you prestige that division, which is free to everyone to use, you also get the brand new ZK383 SMG. So definitely worth playing around on the weekend as well, especially if you still need to rank up your divisions. Next up, keep an eye out for the Wanderlust game mode here within Call of Duty World War II. It is live this week only, so take advantage of that. It's a ton of fun. It's a mosh pit of various different game modes, but literally everyone in the game has the Wanderlust basic training. There's some air quote predetermined classes, but it's really only just each of the divisions you can choose from, and it all has Wanderlust. So in that sense, you end up getting only whatever the basic training gives you, and your perks tied to your division are still choosable, but that's about it. So other than that, it's a lot lot of fun. Definitely recommend trying this out if you guys have some spare time. I don't know if I'd necessarily say it's one of the best modes out there, but it's still a lot of fun to kind of test the RNG water if somebody comes up and you might need a sniper and you end up getting like an ice pick or something. It's always fun to see what kind of engagements come out of that. But the final thing I want to talk about is that of the blog post we get on Fridays normally. Of course, we're going to be getting that still on Friday, but there's a few things that I do want to see out of that, and that is, firstly, Prestige Master rewards. We've seen this mentioned many times here from Sledgehammer that they're still working on stuff. We have the Master Prestige payroll, which is 300 armor credits instead of 200, which actually does make a big difference once you take a look at it and start to roll that out over time, though not near as big as a lot of people were hoping. But there are still things on the horizon, which is a good thing and a good sign we can look forward to. So I'm hoping we get some sort of semblance of what this might turn out to be in the blog post on Friday, but I'm not entirely sure. The next thing that I am expecting, though, is that of some clarification on the next 2 weeks of game modes, because we end up seeing that in the blog post announcing everything for Operation Liberty Strike, it was mentioned that One Shot and Hardcore Ricochet are coming back, though no specific dates were given for either of those. But that's something that with a 3-week event, the first week being occupied by the Wonderlust featured playlist, the two, well, it's kind of interchangeable whenever you take a look at what else is available, so maybe One Shot first and Hardcore Ricochet second, or the other way around. Looking for some clarification on that. And also, I can't help but think that sometime in the near future, Demolition will be coming back as well, so I kind of want to see some clarification on that within the blog post as well. And I mention that because if you take a look at the Cavalry update notes, it does mention that Demolition, the fuse times for that were adjusted, as well as Search and Destroy. So if it's not planned to come back at any point, why even update it in the slightest? So in that sense, again, I'm hoping to see some sort of clarification out of that, but that's my big 3 I want to see out of the blog post. But big 3 from the blog post and the big 7 on the week aside, those are the things I think you should look out for in Call of Duty World War II this week. So that said, hopefully you guys enjoyed, hopefully found it insightful. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Is there anything that you guys are looking out for this week or anything that I may have missed? Feel free to let me know. And of course, if you guys enjoy the video, make sure to drop a like down below. If you guys aren't new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe so you don't miss a single thing regarding Call of Duty World War II or anything Call of Duty related for that matter. If you guys want to stay up to date with all that, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. And if you guys want to follow me over on Twitter, that's the best place to get connected with me outside of YouTube. Practically live on Twitter, so if you guys want to strike up a conversation, ask me a question, whatever it may be, link is down there in the description below. And also, finally, if you guys want to follow me over on Instagram, getting a little more active over there, so that link is also in the description if you guys want to check that out. But all that's in and out of the way, hope you guys had a fantastic day. Thank you all so much for watching. Mine's been Espresso. Take care, and peace.